On today's video, I have decided that I'm going to walk you through the planning process for going on my one big grocery shopping trip that I do. I like to do once a month grocery shopping for our family of 11, typically at Costco. And then I also get an Azure standard order. That is a truck that comes through the country and stops at different points. So that's also a once a month thing. And then if needed, I will, run to an Aldi or something later on at the end of the month to stock up on little things that we may have run out of, or things like bananas that you just can't keep for an entire month. So that's typically how I do things around here. I actually have a playlist with all of my grocery hauls. So if you're interested in just looking back over the years at how our food choices have changed, you can check out that playlist. Okay, so we live in a really small space. I do have a floor-to-ceiling pantry in my kitchen, but that doesn't just hold food. That holds, empty jars and containers and pans and a lot of other things. And then there's one section for food. And so in order to make these once a month grocery trips work and also to have a surplus of food, our goal is 6 months of staples to have beyond that once a month grocery trip. We actually constructed a space in our well house. This is an area that had to be heated anyway. It's cold today, it's low 30s. But this space has to be heated to keep our well from freezing. And so we took advantage of that space, added shelves, and created our own little mini grocery store. So when I am getting ready to go on a big shopping trip, I will check my kitchen pantry and make sure that it's full, because I use this to fill my kitchen pantry. I have big jars in there that hold oats and wheat berries and flour and rice and those kind of things. So I make sure that those are full and that I have just, I kind of check over the few staples that I keep in there. And then this is where the real work happens. I come into my food storage room to see, what do I need this month? Okay, so I'm actually making my list on my phone. I've already started just over the last week, knowing that I was going to go grocery shopping. If things popped in my mind that I definitely knew I needed, I started adding them to a list. So today I'm going to go through my shelves and double check what else I may have missed or quantities. This also just kind of gives me an idea of what to do. I don't actually rely on my list a whole lot when I'm physically in the store. I will typically just walk up and down every aisle of Costco. I've gone to the same Costco for years, and so I'm pretty systematic about it. And I will just see the products on the shelves and remember, oh, yep, I need that, I need that, I need that. And then at some point, maybe halfway or 2/3 through my trip, I'll stop and I'll glance through that list and just make sure that I am on track. But if I sit there and cross off every little thing as I'm going, I just can't be as efficient with my time. So that's kind of how I do it. Does that make sense? Okay, let's get started. Okay, this is the list that I kind of started working on here and there. So I just use a note-taking app on my phone, nothing special. And I just generally group cold items together, pantry items together, produce, and then other. These are just things that I've jotted down, and then I'll put a little number after it if I kind of have an idea of how much I want. That's it, nothing fancy. Okay, so I'm looking here. I have plenty of gluten-free flour, so I'm not going to get that. Plenty of ketchup. Got the aminos. This is my big tub of baking powder. That lasts a long time. I have plenty of salt stocked up in here. I do like to, like I said, I like to keep about a 6-month stash of food, but I kind of know what we go through, and so that helps. Also up here in buckets, I have things that I've been getting from Azure Standard, so I don't have to worry about that today because my cutoff for that order isn't until next week. So I have a couple coconut oils, that's good. We are using less of this than we did in the summer. We go through a lot because we make our own lemonade from it, but I have 4 right now. That's okay. Okay, I'm going to get a couple more avocado oils. I think I already put that on there. Yes, I've got that on there. I have 2 mayos. This is some of my rendered lard. Some more of our water glassed eggs. Down here on this shelf, I have spaghetti sauce here, only 4. And then I have my spaghetti sauce that I canned, but that's getting low too. So in order to have enough for my 6-month goal stock up, I'm going to need to add spaghetti sauce. Okay, I have a few. I don't go through these very often, so that's enough to keep me. I do have sauce here, but I need more diced tomatoes. Oops. Diced tomatoes. I'll get 2 more boxes of those, and I'll get 2 more spaghetti sauce. They come in like a 3-pack, so that would give me 6 more jars to add to the stock that I have here. What else? These were on instant rebate. That's why I got these gluten-free pitas last month. We still have some of those left. One of our nice big pumpkins, which is hiding a honey. Okay, definitely need more honey, but I already put that on the list. And this spaghetti I actually get from Restaurant Depot. I haven't been there in a long time, but I stocked up on a huge amount last time. I'm good on these. I mostly keep them on hand for emergencies, those baked beans. When I need to throw something together super fast, I do baked bean chili, I call it. That feeds hungry workermen that might have stopped by to help or whatever. I just put some meat, some diced tomatoes, tomato sauce, and baked beans, mix it all together, and call it chili. All right, this is my produce that we've grown here. So I've got that. And down in the buckets, again, like I said, I don't need to worry about those today because that's my Azure Standard haul. So I will check on those next week. This is my canned goods shelf, and so these are things, pickles, pickled okra, pickled green beans. I've got some corn relish that I made, some beans, sweet potatoes, green beans, you know, applesauce pie, filling, those kind of things. While we're out here in the well house, I have to show you this. I'm so excited. So my entire marriage, I've had this really old food dehydrator. It was this little round thing with trays, and it didn't do a very good job, but I had it. So I kept on using it until it recently broke. And I was so excited. I got one of these London Sunshine dehydrators. We have been loving it. It's so easy to operate that the kids do it, and they really enjoy it. So we've done lots of fruit leather, which all you have to, there's different types of trays. So it comes with multiple trays like this and these kind of trays. This solid tray is what we use to make fruit leather. All we did was spread applesauce all over this tray, and we just set it for the times. It comes with a little cookbook, and it's wonderful. It peels right off, and then the kids cut into strips or whatever. I mean, they love it. We have done, on these trays, we've done lots of banana chips. That's the other really popular item. And they actually asked me to get a whole case of bananas when we go to Costco because they want to make a lot of banana chips and save them up. Another thing that we haven't tried yet is jerky. You can actually make beef jerky in here. They recommend making it from a more quality cut of meat like a steak, and so once we butcher, the kids are so excited to try that because beef jerky from the store is super expensive and I just don't buy it for them, so they're pumped. But it's really easy. You just set your temperature to whatever temperature the recipe calls for. We found that this thing is very forgiving. Most everything, we just kind of set it around this temperature. It doesn't have to be really specific, and it's all turned out well. We have had all successes. Yeah, if you see a huge box of bananas in the cart when we go to Costco later, you know that this is the reason why. And then I actually just store them in jars, just like I do with my canned goods here. Whatever we dehydrate, I just throw in jars, put a lid on it, and it stays fresh and delicious. I will put a link if you're interested. They gave me a coupon code. It's on sale right now. It's a big sale, I noticed. I went and looked at their website this morning. So if you're in the market for a dehydrator, go check it out. So I think you've got the idea of how I do things in here. Now I'm going to take you to the next step, which is my freezers in the barn. So out here in our barn, I have 2 deep freezers. I have this big one and then a slightly smaller one. We actually just butchered, I guess, close to 70 chickens. And so I have lots and lots of chicken in the freezer right now. Chicken is a top item on the menu currently because we have not yet butchered a cow. So I still have some roasts and lots of soup bones left from the last cow that we butchered, but I don't really have much left in the way of ground beef or any of the other cuts. And so when I show you my menu, which I'm going to take you in the house after I'm done here because it's cold, and I'm going to show you how I turn this into a list of meal ideas for the month. And then you're going to see a lot of chicken on that, just because it's what I have an abundance of right now. Okay, so when I come out here, I get into the freezers. This one is my big one, and it's only half full right now because it's waiting for beef for that cow that we're going to be butchering. Over here we have some chickens. Most of them are actually in the other freezer, but when we were cooling them down quickly, they got spread out in multiple areas. So this is mostly chicken, and I have a container of soup bones down there. This is some fish that our neighbor gave us. That's kind of a little treat. We're saving for something. My freezers do not stay perfectly organized ever. We have a lot of people, a lot of kids who are rummaging around, getting things for mom, bringing them in the house. I'm okay with it, so I hope you're okay with it too. Okay, these bags are some apple slices. Whenever I had kids having fun with the apple core and peeler, they made so many that I just tossed them in Ziploc bags and threw them in. They're wonderful for a quick apple crisp or apple pie or whatever. What's underneath here. So what I do, because I'm cold, is I just take a quick assessment of what's here. That's more chicken. And then I will kind of keep it in my mind and then go back to my phone and write down what we need. It's actually cold to type right now. Okay, we have two broccolis here, mixed veggies. Oh, that's 3 broccolis actually. Okay, I need to put broccoli on the menu. We have a mixed veggies, a green bean, and a corn down here. Okay, so some of this stuff sat for a while because my garden was producing so much that we were eating that. And so now that the garden is done, it's time to eat this stuff up so that it can be refreshed. So I'll make sure that these things get eaten this month. We only have 1 bag of strawberries and 1 bag of blueberries. My husband really likes smoothies. That's a quick meal, breakfast type supplement that he'll make in the mornings before he leaves for work. So blueberries are his favorite. So I like to have lots of blueberries on hand. We're down to just 1 bag, so I'll stock up on both of those. Okay, let's look in the other freezer. Okay, like I said, this is a smaller freezer, but it still works great. This is mostly chicken. The whole top half is chicken that we vacuum sealed. These birds were not a meat bird variety, and they're a little on the smaller size, so it really is taking 2 of these to feed our family for dinner. So not quite as much as it would seem when you put it that way. But it's great. Okay, so ours for rabbit, I have some rabbit leftovers. Down here at the bottom, there are a few roasts from the last cow that we butchered, so those will definitely go on the menu this month. I will just clear all of this beef out of here because we are going to be butchering again and having fresh beef. So we'll eat up what's left this month. Let's see what else we have down here. Yeah, there's a few more nice big roasts down there at the bottom. I also have an extra paper product cabinet here in the barn. It's kind of dark in there, but it's some toilet paper. Actually, somebody gave us a case of those rolls. We typically buy the Costco toilet paper, but they work too. Boxes of baby wipes, paper towels, all of those kind of things go into here. Some more of the plastic wrap in the big container, and diapers and those types of things. So I think the main thing that I want to get this time is just size 4 diapers. That's all I have left for diapers, and there are actually even 5s left over from my last baby. But they're a little bit big for Benjamin, so I'm going to get a case of size 4 diapers, but I think everything else I'm good on. Let's head back into the house because I am cold. I'm ready to work on this inside where it's warm. Okay, so we are back in the house. I'm making a note that I want more blueberries and a few more strawberries. I'm not going to buy any meat at Costco this month. I'm actually trying to keep my grocery budget a little lower this month because we have some other expenses, some end of the year stuff, and so I'm trying to keep that as low as I can. So even though we don't have things like sausage, although we are getting ready to butcher a pig, so I may end up having some sausage, but we may not have all the variety. You know, there's obviously no deli meat. There's no extra, like I said, there's not a lot of ground meat. I think I just saw maybe 2 packages in there. But we're just going to eat what we have since we have plenty of that, and then that'll save me a lot of money. Okay, so I have little things like this in my house. Like, this is some random dinner ideas that I had typed up once for myself and laminated it. I have the last list that I made for myself with ideas. So these will give me just some inspiration to get going. What I do is I take a piece of paper, I jot down a few breakfast ideas, a few lunch ideas, which are typically kind of the same, and then I make a list of a bunch of dinner ideas. Now, I do not say this particular dinner is going to be on this day. I just don't have the capacity for that in my life. I'm not that planned. A little more spontaneous. But what I do is I just make a big list of meals that I have ingredients for, and then I can choose from that list. I can check it off if I make it so that I know it's been used up. Some of these will be made multiple times, so I don't need to have 30 meals on here. I just need a good amount, you know, maybe 20, and then I have plenty to choose from. Another book that I like to use is this one. I don't actually follow the principle right now, which is that she only cooks once a week. Honestly, that's hard to do for 11 people. I'm sure I could if I put my mind to it. I just don't take the time. But the reason that I like this cookbook is because it's really handy for people who are trying to use what they have to come up with meal ideas. Right here at the beginning, this is what the index looks like. And so it shows combinations of things. So I can say, okay, I have a lot of chicken right now. So I can glance through all of the ones that look like chicken and see the combinations. And then when you go to that page, she gives the meal ideas for that combination. So that makes it worth it to glance through. I also have Pinterest. It's okay, Pepper. I also have, you know, Pinterest things saved, so I will glance through those sometimes. Okay, this is what I've come up with so far. So for breakfast, I have down just oatmeal, eggs, granola and yogurt, baked goods, sourdough pancakes. I keep a sourdough starter going all of the time, so that makes quick and easy baked goods and things that my gluten-sensitive kids can have as long as I ferment them. Also, any bread that you see on here will be bread that I bake with my sourdough starter. Lunches, we either eat leftovers or if I have a sandwich bread recipe, a sourdough sandwich bread recipe that I've really been enjoying. It's the venison for dinner recipe, and it's a lot easier to make a sandwich from the sourdough bread. Some of the other recipes can be more crumbly, so we can use that. Also, on cold days, we like light soups for lunch, so butternut soup is a really popular one, or lentil soup, because it's not my husband's favorite, but the rest of us like it, and so I will make it when he's gone for a lunch item. But mostly, yeah, we eat a lot of leftovers for lunches. It works so well that way. Okay, these are my current dinner ideas that I have so far. I have a bunch of soups. It is soup season. So hamburger soup, chicken soup, white bean chicken chili, regular chili, chicken tortilla soup. All of these I will maybe make bread or cornbread on the side. These just, again, get me started. I can make a soup out of just about anything. I have, like, I don't know, soup creativity. And so these ideas will get me started, but I will often just be like, what do I have laying around? I'll throw it together with some good bone broth, and it's a soup.
Like peanut butter and...
No peanut butter soup. Okay, not anything. Okay, then I have chicken pot pie. Oh, here's another soup I should have put up there. Just some tomato soup with grilled cheese. This is something that I save for when maybe we had a really big lunch and we're not super hungry for dinner. This is like a lighter meal that I will make. Jason and I frequently go on dates, and the kids will have frozen pizzas, so I need to make sure to get frozen pizzas from Costco. Add that to the list. You see, as I'm going through, then I can say, okay, frozen pizzas, because I didn't add that to my list at all. I'm going to make roast a few times. I have potatoes and carrots out there. Shepherd's pie, chicken with stir-fry peppers over rice. One of the things I have in my freezer in here are colored peppers that we froze so that they're so easy to just cut that package open. We did the vacuum sealer and throw them in, stir-fry them, add some chicken pieces, and put it over rice. I'll also do like a honey chicken type thing in the crock pot with broccoli, serve that over rice, stuffed acorn squash. Okay, that's where I am so far. And honestly, this will get me going. If I made, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So this is, we have Thanksgiving in here, so we'll be gone for a couple days. We have different families with different Thanksgivings. Frozen pizzas, that will be a few times. Roast will be a few times. If I make each of these 2 times and sometimes 3 times, this is enough. This is enough meals for the month. And so I'm gonna stop there. Let's head to Costco. These are my helpers. Samuel,
Yeah,
Leo, and Silas came along. We just loaded up on 1 box of apples. Now we're going to get a bunch of bananas. Okay, we are stocking up on eggs.
Want boxes?
I shouldn't have brought Leo along. He's hungry. He wants to buy everything.
I'm hungry.
We need the extra muscle, though. It's worth listening to him go on and on about food. Are you going to survive?
Tilapia.
Ready to
Tilapia. You going to survive?
Same thing. I don't think so.
Okay, we have green beans. Like, get 1 more bag of mixed
Silas.
veggies, please, Cena.
Fish sticks.
Ran out of my good Azure standard cheese, so we're going to buy this cheese. Let's get 3 blocks of the sharp cheddar.
If you want caffeine.
We had to pick up a rolling cart for all the dog food. All those puppies that haven't been picked up yet. What else? Sour cream. Cream cheese. Okay, we are done shopping, but I have 3 hungry boys with me, so we're trying to find a snack for the long 30-minute ride home. But we've been up and down the chip aisle and we can't all agree. Currently, though, they've been distracted by the curtain.
I don't believe it. This is
The
a
blackout
It's not
curtain.
true.
These are the curtains we own, you guys.
They're
Why don't
not
we just
true.
do this experiment at home?
Oh yeah, good point.
Ooh. It's not true.
Oh, we own these? Then that means they're
Okay,
probably
we're getting
good.
a little bit distracted here. All right, maybe we're not hungry enough when we don't need a snack.
But let's just get these. I thought they looked like the spiciest chip in the world.
Those were good too. Those peas and
Nah,
they only want the
those
unhealthy
shrimp
ones.
chips look good up there, Mom.
That looks just weird.
Shrimp.
Dried shrimp chips.
Mom, you know how much I love shrimp.
No, that's okay. We're all done shopping. We're going to load these 3 carts into the van. Thankfully, I have helpers, and be checking back because I will have a grocery haul where I show you everything that I bought coming up soon.